So this is going to be the walkthrough of the checklist for a page-by-page audit of a blog post. A blog post is a separate type of post on a website that requires a little bit of a different approach, as there's two ways for blogs to be approached, whether it's a local post, pertaining to locals in the area specifically, or anybody that's interested in the topic in that local area. Or you can post a blog targeting international terms, national and international. Um, in a lot of these cases, these blog posts are going to be targeting national and international search phrases. So they're very broad. Now, the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we set the URL. Now, we're going to pass the index check over 60 days. Most of our sites are over 60 days. Most pages are going to be over 60 days, but um, here's me just taking a quick peek at Ahrefs to probably figure out what the primary keyword that we should target is. Um, I start by just taking a look at the actual page in Ahrefs. I just want to get an overview of how this page is performing. If it's performing well, there's no reason to optimize it. But if it's not getting search traffic and not ranking for keywords, then we have to do something. And typically that's going to be improving the content by adding infographics, images, and updating the text to be more relevant to the actual query. So what is the person actually looking for when they type in a search phrase? Um, and we want to serve that goal. So we want to complete their goal, right? In this case, we're probably going to be serving the how to remove decals search phrase, but I'm just going to take a quick peek. I'm going to sort by volume, and it looks like the volume is the highest on how to remove decals. I'm going to check the related terms just to see what type of terms are related to how and to remove decals. Now, how to remove decals from a car, from a truck, from paint, or how to remove decals from car paint. These are going to all be probably similar topics to what we're trying to rank for. So we can try and target um, the top level key phrase, which is how to remove decals. And then within the article, we can also find opportunities to target words like how to remove decals from a car, how to remove wall decals, how to remove vinyl from a car, because they're kind of the same, how to remove vinyl decals from a car. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through this list and I'm just checking and the similarity, the keyword similarity and relevance to the article that I'm editing, and what goal we're trying to complete for users that arrive on this article. And in this case, it's going to be how to remove decals. Now, what I'm doing is excluding specific terms. And the reason we're excluding these terms is because they're not really relevant. We're not going to be talking about stickers. We're going to be talking about decals, which could be similar things, but stickers could actually get their own article based on the number of topics or phrases that are similar to that cluster, that parent cluster of a keyword, which is how to remove stickers in a car. Okay. So we just want to get rid of the words or the phrases, the keywords that don't include the word uh, decal in them, right? So excluding stickers, sticker, and vinyl probably. But I think I'm honing in on how to remove decals from a car here. I excluded truck. I just wanted to see how many topics are related to cars. Now I'm going to exclude the word remover because when someone types in the word decal remover, they're not looking to get it done themselves. They're probably looking for someone that will remove it for them, or they're looking for a particular product to help them DIY the removal, like a solvent or acetone or something like that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add these 50 that I just looked at to my decal removal list. That way I have these keywords for later on when I need to edit this article. So it looks like I've nailed my keyword, and it's how to remove decals from car. This term has 900 searches a month, and this is going to be the top level primary keyword that we want to target. And then every other keyword is going to be supplementary. So that's what we're going to focus on is, are we solving searchers' intent and completing their goal when they search how to remove decal removal? And the first thing I notice is the title's good, but what is all this extra crap here at the beginning of the article? Understanding decals, the history of decals, the importance for decals, the need for decal removal. It's really just fluff and it's bullshit, and you don't need this many words. The idea is to get to the point as quickly as humanly possible without any extra bullshit um, in front of the solution that the reader's looking for. Because think about how annoying it will be to land on this page about how to remove a decal from a car, and then you got to read 15 bullshit paragraphs before it even gets near an answer, right? So we're going to want to edit the shit out of this article. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm using our tool called Neuron Writer. And Neuron Writer will allow you to pull the content in from the page and analyze it against the competitors for this term who are already ranking. And now we're going to take a look at how many words are being used on actual websites of businesses or blogs. We don't care about Reddit, we don't care about YouTube, we don't care about anything like Yelp or any commercial, national forum or anything like that, or social media. We want, especially not Quora, um, we want to have just actual articles that are written and ranking. So, like number one would be a valid article, number four, number six, all of these would be valid. And then we're going to go look at their blogs and see what they're doing to rank for this term. We're going to take a look at their content, how long it is, make sure it's about the length that neuron writer is telling us is inappropriate or is the length of their content. See, look how quick they get to the point. Minimal bullshit, just straight to the point. So ideally, their websites probably aren't that good. And if we just write a banger article that looks sexy and gives people the answer they freaking want, odds are when they click on it, they're going to read through it, they're going to stick on this website, and they're going to look around a little bit more. And that's going to help our rankings because the longer people spend on our website, the more they scroll around, click around, and interact with it. After arriving from a Google search, the more positive signals that they're going to receive, or Google's going to receive about our website. And the better the experience of the user is going to appear to Google, so they're going to rank our website better. Now I'm just checking out the related searches here. Looking at the importance of what words are being used in titles, so H1s and the page titles and descriptions. And our content is obviously probably not meeting. It's not meeting any of these. Probably. Besides the first couple, maybe. Finishing up typing now. The notes, how to fix it, suggestions. I update the word count criteria because ours is it's way too freaking long. So we got to dial that back. Now we're gonna go run our page speeds insights. Not bad. It's not the worst I've ever seen. We can definitely improve this quite a bit though. The keyword in the URL, how to remove decals from car. I don't think so. Now the next few of these are going to probably fail as well. It's not found in the meta description, not found in the first H1, so I'm basically just running through this real quick and leaving these notes. Keyword's not in the first sentence, not in the first H2, or at least a variation of it. Heading tags are structured okay. Remember, we used the detailed SEO app extension just to double check that. Optimized for NLP. So I'll send over some videos to talk about NLP and semantic SEO and entities. But this article is just a complete failure, so it's going to need to be completely rewritten. Now we're gonna run our content scans. I think I already ran the scan because I previously recorded this video and it got cut off, but here's what we're finding. So it's 100% AI. Um, the plagiarism doesn't really make sense on this one because if you go click to the link that it says that it's plagiarizing, it doesn't have any of the content that it says it does. So it can be hit or miss. You always want to double check and go to the page that it says there's content being plagiarized from. So in this case, it wouldn't be plagiarism because the content is not at all the same. Maybe like one sentence might be the same, but that's just a fluke. Otherwise, the big issue is that this is 100% likely AI content, which it's not ideal because it's just seen as low quality, low effort, didn't really put a ton into actually putting together a quality article and helping users. So we want to make sure that at this point, um, we note that the content is substantially AI, 100% in fact, and we will need to solve that with our rewrite. So look through the article, there's like two pictures maybe, and we definitely need some more to break the content up, make it more readable and digestible, content helpful, original. I would say it's helpful, probably way too fucking helpful. We need to dial back and trim. Basically, the theme of this video is on this article. We need to completely dial back. We have to dial back the bullshit, cut the cheese, and just get to brass tacks here and give the user what they want, which is how to remove decals from cars. Give them that fucking answer, and don't make it sound like AI. That's it. Now we're gonna go check the schema. Really, we just want to make sure the author schema is in there, the location or business schema is in there, which is like the hours description, just details about the business. Most of this is auto-generated by the SEO plugin Rank Math. So we just want to make sure that's working properly, but it looks like it is. However, in this case, there is a schema called the article schema, which would tie this article together with a bunch of related entities. Um, that does not appear to be on this article, which is a hit or miss thing, to be totally honest. It's not a requirement, but it does help. But we definitely want to know if it's failing or not. So obviously, that's missing an article schema, so we mark that. Now here I am just logging into the Screaming Frog VPS. All right, I'm going to show you a cool trick on accessing the database storage for Screaming Frog. So if you've never crawled a website before in Screaming Frog, you'll have to do a full crawl on it. So you'll have to wait for the crawl to complete after you start it. Now, in this case, I have completed a crawl on this before, actually recently, and I'll show you if you actually um, click on it here in a second, but it's going to be File. Pause that crawl. We don't need it because I've already done it. So we're going to click File, Open, and then we're going to find the crawl. So we're going to open this one. It's got all 1,800 pages, I believe. Okay. And then right now what we're doing is we're going to advanced filter for particular rows or columns, excuse me. Now, what we want to do is filter for, I believe what we're doing here is filtering for competing pages. So we want to make sure that there's no other articles on our site, particularly blog posts, that are competing with the article that we're editing. Because at that point, we would want to look for ways to combine those articles because that's a symptom of keyword cannibalization, which is when two articles compete for the same keyword and Google doesn't rank either of them because it's confused on which one should be the right article to rank. Um, so in this case, I'm just setting up the filters in order to exclude what are called service pages. Service pages are a page that offers a specific service in a specific city. So in this case, we want to exclude page titles that have pages that have the word decal in the H1, and then also have the uh, backslash decal dash removal in the URL because that's a common slug used in the service pages, so we don't need those in there. Now, see these two articles? One's talking about boat decals, removing boat decals, versus removing. This one's about removing car decals. So I'm going to leave a note that there's another page, but it's targeting removing boat decals instead of car decals. So kind of like removing decals from a truck or, a boat are two different things. We might consider adding those in later in the future to our article. Um, once we see how it performs for just how to remove decals from a car, uh, the edit for that is posted, and then we give it a few months. Okay. And then if we do combine how to remove decals on trucks, then we might as well combine boats and other items as well that would have a decal on it so that we can house it under one large article and then build supporting articles around decals to support it, which would be considered a supporting asset. So this article is actually recently posted. So it's on the recent blog post carousel, which exists on every page on the site. So naturally, this page is going to have a link to it from every single page on our website. Now, what we want to do is um, verify that it has links to it that are not just coming from the recent carousels. Okay. So in links, we want unique in links, and we want to filter for anchor texts that do not contain the common anchor text below, which are an indication that it is a blog post carousel on the website on every single page. So we're going to remove the results in links that contain those items. Now I may have made a mistake here, I believe in my filtering, and I'll find it in a second. Because when I adjusted my filters, nothing showed up. Let's go back. So I realized I need to flip this to does not contain instead of contains, which was my mistake because we want to show everything that doesn't contain effortlessly and read more as the anchor text. So it looks like we got one link, decal removal, to the blog post from a service page on our site. Let's see if I can sort this and get them. Here we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 good links. Now, the anchor texts are not the best anchor texts to describe the article that they're linking to. So on the pages where it shows from, that's the page that has the link on it. The to is where the link is going to, and the anchor text is the text that is the clickable link. So the anchor text is the text that we want to use to describe descriptively what that page is about that we're linking to. So in some cases, we might want to adjust these anchor texts on these other articles in order to maintain a descriptive anchor text profile. Now we're going to make sure that the page is no more than 3 clicks deep into site architecture. So in this case, this page particularly is not more than 3 deep. So this one's very easy to reach within 3 clicks. Just because of the blog post carousel and the fact that I know those other articles are top level, especially the service pages. So you can get to that article within 3 clicks from the homepage. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm putting this page into Google Search Console and I'm filtering by the page itself and looking at the queries that the page appears for. And I'm just looking at any additional topics that people are actually searching for on Google that this page is possibly appearing for. That's a topic that's supporting decal removal. So something like that would be, how to remove decals without heat, how to remove decals from a car, how to remove decals from a truck, how to remove, those types of terms. But this page is so poorly constructed that it doesn't rank at all in Google for really any terms, and it barely shows up. So there's not going to be a ton of terms here. But if you were scrolling this and you were to see, take a topic like ice skating, right? And then you wrote an article on how to ice skate very quickly. And then people were searching for ice skates to help ice skates for speed skating, right? Or someone was searching for um, best laces to use to skate fast, right? Like that's a whole nother topic that's supporting for how to ice skate very fast, if that was the parent topic, right? So, and then we just note the additional topics that are supporting. So here we're searching for unique outlinks. And I'm seeing just a lot of links to pages on our own website. So that's us linking to an article about removing registration stickers. Maybe we update that anchor text to removing registration stickers so it doesn't say removing old stickers and it actually is relevant to the article and describing the article that it's linking to. I mean, yeah, there's quite a few outbound links to articles, but like I said, if we can create supporting articles about decal removal, we can get a lot more relevant pages on the site that we can link to from this page. So we'll fail this for now just because, there's places where, we might be able to put a link that's relevant to another page on our website. and we failed the descriptive internal link anchor text because any any link that's on that page that's not, a standardized link in a carousel or in the menu or whatever would need to be descriptive. So like removing the anchor text, removing old stickers that went to an article about removing registration stickers. Well, that anchor text should be relevant to removing registration stickers instead of removing old stickers, right? And better describe the article it's linking to. So in this case, there's not going to be any sponsored or affiliate or paid links in our articles, not yet at least. For broken links, we just want to look at the outlinks from the page and make sure that none of them are leading to 404 pages or pages that don't exist. And the link should clearly be links. Okay. So they should be clear that if you click on that or hover your mouse over it, it is a link, right? Now, as far as the images go, what I did is I'm looking to see how these images are being rendered on the page. There's next gen web formats that compress files to less than, a few kilobytes while still serving a very high quality image like WebP or .avif formats for files. And we want to make sure the website's serving those. So if the rendered page is a .png or .jpeg, it's loading a much bigger file than it really needs to. Now we also want to check that all the images on the page have alt tags and are properly described as what they are. In this case, most of our images have no alt tags. There's 10 of them. 13 images, 10 of them don't have alt tags. So we want to make sure that we properly tag these with alternative tags. And this is important for SEO because it describes more about what the images are and creates a larger or a better association of what's actually on the page. In this case, so the terms of use, terms of service, condition, privacy policy, we need to more clearly state the technology that we're using on our website. Um, I will send you a copy of the policy that we should be using. And we just want to make sure that gets applied to every site. Yep, so the author is visible at the top of this article. The author's name is visible, but there's no corresponding author page that has the biography of the author and talks about why they're qualified to be writing about this topic. So these are probably going to fail because in this case, um, for this blog particularly, we don't need to be too strict because it's it's not in a category where Google considers it a your money, your life niche, which requires extra scrutiny to make sure that, if you're getting health advice or financial advice, that it's actually advice which is genuine and is helpful as opposed to maybe a scammer or anything like that, since those are common categories that people take advantage of. So in those cases, we want to have super, super detailed authorship and we want to make sure that the author is, qualified with some type of a degree from a university or background work or anything that's notable online. in this page, there's no ask, right? There's no call to action. It, for example, we give them all this information, but when we talk about, say, that tools that we want to use for the decal removal, chemicals or anything like that, like we could have an article that is a product roundup that just lists and briefly talks about each product that we recommend to use for removing decals. And then that could be an affiliate link to Amazon, and we can push people to that page from this one. And then hopefully they click to Amazon, they buy a product, and we earn a commission. Now, I failed is the page shareable because, it is like you can send somebody a link, but that photo that pops up, not high quality. I mean, it's us wiping down the side of a car. You know what I mean? I think it would be better if we maybe had a branded image or something like that, right? Yeah, you can see that image right there now. All right, now that we've wrapped up the on-page audit, we need to update the status and the overview of the findings. So I'll let the rest of this video play out while we do that. You might have noticed that we skipped over a section briefly. Um, blog post only section. And while this is a blog post, um, we want to ensure that we keep in mind how detailed we actually have to be with this information. I mean, a 5-year-old can remove a decal from a car. So it's Google's not going to require like all this cited information and clinical studies and um, you're the author of the article to have, a super in-depth, like you saw the articles that Google was ranking for this term. They're 1,000 word articles with hardly any pictures, and they're just fucking straightforward as it can get. Now I think we can make a little bit of a prettier page and then keep users on our website a little bit longer. So that'll definitely help out. But, in this case, I skipped over this particular item just because, or those blog post only items, because listen, man, you don't want to have to kick a dead horse, right? Like if it can rank without having to do that stuff, we don't need to do it. SEO is a lot of like doing a little bit, seeing how it ranks. If it doesn't improve, do a little bit more. And then you just keep doing more, keep doing more, keep doing more, keep doing more until you get the result that you want. And then you can kind of coast for a little bit with that article or that page or that website. Right? All right, cool, man. Let me know if you have any questions, but this is the page by page audit for a blog.